What is good? It is your boy, Mr. Frenzy from MrFrenzyProductions.com, and welcome to Module 3.0 on structure. Now, structure is one of the most important things you can do with your beat, because if you want to lease or sell your beats to an artist, it's going to need to have a structure in place so that the artist can write their lyrics over it. Okie dokie? So, generally speaking, in trap music, it's a pretty simple structure, really, when it comes down to it. Okay, so it's not going to take you very long to be able to get a pretty good structure for most artists out there and stuff. Okay, so first thing you need to understand when it comes to structure is structuring is just telling a story. Okay. But before I get into that, let's make sure that we bounce out all of our tracks so we can get ready to structure, okay? So in FL Studio, what's great is that we have these patterns. So basically FL Studio is clip based. So this is a clip and this is a clip. And really it's not actually tied to any form of channel. Where in other DAWs, it's usually one source of audio is connected to one channel, like on track 2 or track 3, and you can't move anything, you can't put anything else on there unless it's in some form of rack mode. Like, for example, like all of your drums are onto this one track, and then you put it on the grid. Anyway, don't have to worry about that because we're using FL Studio. So let's keep going here. Now, the greatest thing about using FL Studio is that you can actually form your entire track onto one channel rack, and then you can separate it out for easy structuring. So how to do that is actually pretty simple. All you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to go to your pattern 1 clip right here. You're gonna right click, and then you are going to split by channel, okay? Voila, done. Everything is actually bounced out to its own individual clip, okay? And also, it's actually bounced out to its own individual clip on the playlist. So this right here is known as the playlist. But what we're gonna do just to make our lives a little bit easier is we're actually just gonna start from scratch here. Okay. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So first thing we need to do to structure a beat is we need to start with an introduction. Now, an introduction guides the listener in to the beat, okay, or into the song that we're creating, okay? So what we need to do is, first off, we need to make sure that we also bounce out our full track here, okay? Because if we listen to the track, there are multiple components to this one loop here, and we want to utilize all the components because we want to be able to place the different components, meaning like the piano chords, the piano melody, the pad, all in different parts of the structure, okay? So first we got to find this loop. So you can find it here real quick. Say melodic, Mr. Frenzy loops. Which one is it? So 119. Hopefully you can find it quick. Nope, it's not in here. 119. It's probably this one. Yep, it is. Okay, so what I'm going to do starting off is I'm going to delete this full track right here. I'm actually going to load in all of the individual components to this melody. So the pad, the piano, and the pluck. Okay? I'm actually going to put the piano last because the piano is really the thing that adds the atmosphere, okay? All right, and then I'm just going to take a listen, make sure that everything sounds right. Awesome, cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shave off these loops here because you want this area here for the ending of the song, okay? It's really important to have that, or else like you're gonna have to end every single beat on just like a boom, dead silence, and we don't want that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is shave this off. And if you don't know how to shave, just go ahead and watch the construction kit module, which is in modules 1.0. Shows you how to do all that sort of stuff. Okay, so here we go. Let's take another listen. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually solo every single track. So to solo every single track, all you have to do is just right-click on this this green light right here on each individual track. Okay, cool. I'm going to listen to the pluck. And also the pad. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to start structuring. So to start structuring, let me see if I actually have a 8-bar loop here or 16-bar loop. Okay, so basically the first 4 measures of this measure, of this loop, and the second 4 measures of this loop are the exact same. So what I'm going to do just for easily handling is I'm actually going to split them in half. The reason why I'm splitting them in half because I'll have more control over a 8-bar loop than what I will over a 16-bar loop. Or I'll have more control over a 4-bar loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, than what I will over a 8-bar loop. Okay, so here we go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label the first part of my structure, the introduction. Okay, so all you have to do is you have to come over here. You have to come down to time markers, add one, and we're going to put in intro. Done. Okay, so now I can actually add the time markers onto my playlist without coming over here, which is nice. Okay, so first thing we want to do when it comes to an introduction is we want to actually guide the listener into the track. Okay, there are multiple ways that you can do introductions. However, just the most common is to kind of rely on just one sound or a multiple or a couple of sounds, just so that the person can kind of get used to the feel and the vibe of the beat, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to start off the introduction with just the piano. So I'm going to get rid of the pluck and the pad, and I'm going to have a listen. Okay, great. Now, this is just 4 measures, okay? Now, in my introduction, what I want is an 8-measure introduction, okay? Because if I start adding in drums after 4 measures, it's going to start sounding rushed, and we don't want that. We just want to easily guide the listener into the introduction. Rule of thumb, introductions by Billboard are around 15 to 25 seconds long. 15 seconds actually ideally, because people have a tendency to kind of lose interest if introductions are too long without any other form of vocals that come in. So if we come over here, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to duplicate this piano sound so it's covering 8 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic, done. Now, what I could do as well is to keep the engagement for the listener's ears, I can also start adding either the pluck or the pad in, okay? Let me try the pad. Now, the reason why I'm trying the pad is because I want to add a little bit of atmosphere here and just basically hear how it sounds with it. Listener engagement is the most important thing, because if the listener is losing interest in the music right from the start, then they're just going to skip to something else. I like that. Now, the reason why I like that is because I like that the pad kind of adds a little bit more of an atmosphere characteristic right before the next part of the song. Okay, so that is my standard basic introduction. It's really not much. It's literally just 2 sound components that I'm putting together that guides the listener into the beat. Okay. What I have here is basically a harmonic section and also a melodic section. So harmonic section is the chords, and the melodic section is the right hand with the melody, okay? And also the pad as well, that adds a little bit more of an atmospheric unit to kind of give a little bit more emotion, okay? And that's it, okay? That's it for my introduction. In the next module, what I'm going to show you how to do is complete a verse. Now, that's when, the drums start coming in, and we start, building in a lot of, lot of more more character more character for the beat. We just keep on bringing in sounds and stuff like that. So all right, this is Mr. Frenzy from MrFrenzyProductions.com, and I will see you in the next one.